Hi guys, it's me again. We are ready for part 2 of your Powerfin installation. The first thing you're going to do is take your digital protractor and you're going to turn it on. You'll see that the screen lights up. Hopefully there's enough light in here to read it. And it doesn't matter what it says right now. But what we'll do is take the side of it and place it right in your hub like this. And we're going to zero that out. But before we do, I don't know if you can see this readout, is I want you to look at what this readout says. I'm up here on this part and this readout says 4.90. Okay? Just remember 4.90. Right now my hub is reading 630. To zero that out, I hold the zero button for just a second, hold it and let it go. And now you can see it reads 00. Remember, this is the side we're working from. It says 00 now on that hub. But remember when this was 5.30? Now it's reading 1.45. The reason is you've zeroed out to this hub plate so that all your blades will now work to this hub plate. So it is automatically calculated, and you can see that's true because it's different here. So once you have this calculated, you don't want to hit any buttons, and you want to come over here and place it very carefully on your propeller. Now to do this, I'm going to have to put the camera down, but basically you see this edge right here? You want to make sure that you're lined up to that edge flush and that you are not having this go onto the tape. You want to be just below the tape. If you slide this, you'll feel the tape bump. Don't slide it up over the tape. So you want to be right at the tape and flush against the edge. Either put your 2 rubber bands on and or your clamp. If you put your clamp, use a lightweight clamp, put it on from the top, okay? Don't put it on from the bottom. If you use a clamp, put it on from the top like this, and be very careful, okay, when you're putting the clamp on from the top this way, because you don't want to compress the clamp so much that you distort the blade. But I prefer to use the rubber bands. They seem to work a little easier for me. Okay, once you have the blade now, remember you've pulled the blade this way, your digital protractor is now level on here to this edge and not going over the tape, just snug up to it. You make sure your blade, you pull it this way, make sure it's all the way out, and you look at this, you know, tab, this tie down to make sure that your blade is in the position you want it. Very carefully, you then come over to your specialty tool, and from the bottom, you just put your specialty tool on here, okay, from the bottom, and you hold it tight. I'd have to put my camera down, but you'd hold the top and bottom so you're not pushing up or down on the blade, and you very carefully start adjusting your blade. You just either go up like that, okay, you pull from the bottom up, pull from the bottom up, and then you come over here and you check your pitch. If you did it correctly, your digital readout will be facing you, so you'll be standing here looking at the digital readout. In other words, when you zeroed out this readout on this blade, you actually did it from this side, not like I showed earlier from this side because I couldn't hold it right. And then you use the same side to line that up, okay, so that it's sitting like this. That way you're reading it as you can turn. So you zeroed it out here like this, and you've just put it over here. When you set this down, don't hit any buttons, don't turn it like this, it'll use up power. Just set it down because it will auto shut off in a couple minutes. But you have it on there with your rubber bands or your clamp now, and you're in position, and you're just gonna very easily keep turning your blade, you know, up or down till you get the pitch you want. In my case, I'm going for 8 degrees. Once this blade is pitched, you just take these nuts and tighten them just a hair so it won't turn. Once that's done, don't hit it, don't bump it, don't do anything. Come over to this blade, pull it down, line this up like that, just like you did the other one. Do this blade the same way. Tighten these down just a hair, okay? Now remember, You can't grab this top blade because you just pitched that a little while ago. Now you pitched your second blade, so now you got to come down to the bottom blade, okay? And you will pull this one into position. See how easy that is? So every time you put a blade in a position, you want to use a blade that you have not adjusted. You want to pull the blade that way, make sure it's lined up, put your protractor on, even with the edge, not over the tape. Come over here, tweak it, adjust it. Once you get it adjusted, tighten up these little bolts very easily. Now when you're messing with these bolts and finger tightening them, you know, you'll have to play around a little bit with them, because if you tighten them too much, you won't be able to turn it. If you tighten them too little, they'll move. But now you have all 3 blades done. When you get all 3 blades done, that's when you use your torque wrench over there with the adapter, and you'll come over here and you'll tighten all these down to 170 inch-pounds, I believe it is. It's a 6 millimeter Allen wrench, and I stand corrected, it's 175 inch-pounds. So what you do is hand tighten these with your Allen wrench by hand a little bit, snug them up, and then come in with your torque wrench, and, you know, go here, here, there, you know, kind of go in a star pattern, and keep tightening them a little bit until you finally hear your torque wrench click. So let's just say if it clicked here, then you'd go across to this bolt and go till you click here. That's 175 inch-pounds if you've adjusted your torque wrench properly. Now your machine is done. As far as setting goes, you will go to these outer bolts and you will tighten these down the same way, 1, 2, 1, 2, until they tighten, and then until they click at 175 inch-pounds. So you've done the 6 inside bolts first, then the 6 outside bolts. Your bird is now ready to go. So what you want to do is take it outside, you'll crank her up, let her warm up a little bit, and you will give her full throttle. What you're looking for is your prop is your governor. Obviously, if you have an inline tester or something like that, you can look at thrust, but you really want to keep an eye basically on your RPM. The sweet spot in this engine is about 3,750, but it will run up to about 4,100. I like to make it so that I have about 3,900 max, and I'm still pushing around 240 pounds of thrust. If you don't have thrust, just if it's pushing around 3,900 max, maybe 3,950 as your full throttle, you're probably good to go. If it's not what you want, or your RPM drops way down to 3,500 or 3,600, then you need to come back in, loosen everything up, repitch your prop a half a degree backwards. Basically, as you pitch your prop a higher degree, you know, 8, 9, 10, 11, your RPMs will lower. You're grabbing more air. As you back your prop off 8, 7, 6, you're grabbing less air, your RPMs will increase. So I hope this video was good to go, or taught you something. If you have any questions, just drop me a line. Thanks. Bye.